हेलो दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी को वावाएस में। वेलकम टू द डेली एमसीक्यू डिस्कशन। आज है 22 मई 2021 और अब हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं आज के 5 करंट अफेयर बेस्ड एमसीक्यूज whose questions we have already posted in the Telegram channel. Okay, so before we begin our discussion, I would just like to discuss about the question which was asked yesterday. The question was, Raisina dialogue takes place in which country? This was the question asked. And the correct answer is India. The Raisina dialogue is an annual event. It's an event which is used to discuss the global geopolitics and geoeconomics, where in which a lot of scholars will come, scholars, think tanks, and leaders will come, and they will discuss the geopolitics and geoeconomics. This annual conference is held by India. ठीक है. So why this conference is named Raisina Dialogue is the Rashtrapati Bhavan is actually located on a hill called the Rashtrapati, yeah, sorry. So Rashtrapati Bhavan is located on the hill called Raisina Hill, and based on this name, the summit is organized every year. So actually, this is inspired from the Shangri-La Dialogue of Singapore. The Shangri-La Dialogue is a annual security summit. This is organized by Singapore. Okay, and Singapore will organize every year in this hotel called Shangri-La, and the dialogue is named Shangri-La Dialogue, and the Raisina Dialogue is inspired from this Shangri-La Dialogue. Okay, so this is all about. So now we will begin with today's discussion. But before we begin, so I would just like to inform you about the initiatives that VowIAS has launched. VowIAS has launched Vision Prelims Test Series Summary and Vision PT3 History Summary in order to make your prelims preparation a bit easier. Because as you know, the revision is very key for prelims, and to ensure that you revise the things multiple times, we have launched these summaries so that you will be able to revise very easily. Okay, so if you want the prelims test series summary and vision PT365 summary, then do join our Telegram channel where we are going to post the JPEG format of these summaries at free of cost. But in case if you need these summaries in the PDF format, then you can subscribe to the courses whose details I've given here, and also the details are mentioned in the Telegram channel also. Okay. Now let's begin with the today's questions. So the first question is about the International Council of Museum. ICOM. Consider the following statements related to International Council of Museums. First statement, it is a body of UNESCO aimed at the conservation, continuation, and communication to the Society of World's Natural and Cultural Heritage. Second statement, it is only global organization in the museum field. So here we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, D neither 1 nor 2. So if you see the statements, especially if you see the first statement, it actually appears to be right. It appears to be right because it says it's a body of UNESCO aimed at conservation. But this is a wrong statement because actually this International Council of Museum is a non-governmental organization. It's an NGO that has relations with UNESCO, but it's not a body of UNESCO. So the first statement is a wrong statement. But second statement is right because it is only global organization in the museum field. So B 2 only is the correct answer. So recently, Cultural Ministry organized panel discussions on the occasion of the International Museum Day, which is on 18th May. So easily this was in news. So we have asked this question. Now we will see some more details. So 18th May was declared as the International Museum Day by the International Council of Museum (ICOM), and the theme for the International Museum Day of 2021 is, remember this, the future of museums, recover and reimagine. So take any body or any content or any important day. What is important for us to remember for prelims is the day on which it is organized and the theme for that year. The theme for that year. These two are pretty important from the examination perspective. Okay, so the International Museum Day is 18th of May, and the theme for 2021 is the future of museums, recover and reimagine. It was created in 1946 and headquartered in Paris, France. It's a non-governmental organization which maintains formal relations with UNESCO and has consultative status with the UNESCO. Okay, and it's not part of it. Its objective, so it is objective, basically the objective of this body is for conservation, continuation and communication to society of the world's natural and cultural heritage. Okay, this is the main objective. So I think now we got clarity about International Council of Museum. Now चलते हैं अगली क्वेश्चन की तरफ. Second question of the day. So this is about a social reformer. Here we have to recognize that social reformer. So he was a tireless social reformer who inaugurated the age of enlightenment. Tagore, in his address, entitled inaugurator of the modern age in India, referred to him as a luminous star in the firmament of India's history. And here we have to identify that personality. He was a tireless social reformer who inaugurated the age of enlightenment. Okay? So this is about that personality. And Tagore also addressed it. Here we have to choose the correct answer. A. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. B. Rajaram Mohan Roy. C. Swami Dayanand Saraswati. And D. M.G. Ranade. So the correct answer here is B. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So why actually this was in news is, so 22nd May is the birth anniversary of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. 22nd May. So इसीलिए we have asked this question. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy was born on 22nd May in an Orthodox family in Bengal. So Tagore, in his address entitled "Inaugurator of the Modern Age in India," and referred to him as the luminous star in the firmament of Indian history. So he holds a great importance. And when we talk about Indian Renaissance, we cannot finish that Indian Renaissance without talking about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. You can see that Raja Ram Mohan Roy actually initiated Indian Renaissance. Okay, now we will see some more information about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So the birth anniversary of Rajaram Mohan Roy was celebrated on 22nd May because he was born this day in Bengal. Okay, so he was the father of modern Indian Renaissance. Okay, and a tireless social reformer, and inaugurated the age of enlightenment and liberal reformist modernization. So actually, Indian society, it was always said that it's more dogmatic and others. But when we talk about modern reforms, it was Rajaram Mohan Roy who actually initiated these modern reforms. He was very vocal in the. He played a great role in the stoppage of this sati, to ban the sati. So like that. In November 1930, he sailed for England to be present there to counter the possible nullification of Act of banning sati. So it's 1830, sorry, not 1930, it's 1830. Okay. Rajaram Mohan Roy was given the title Raja by Mughal Emperor of Delhi, Akbar II, whose grievances the former was he was able to present before the British king. So as he was able to help the former Mughal Emperor Akbar II, so the Akbar II gave him the title Raja, तो इसीलिए हम उनको राजा राम मोहन राय कहते हैं, right? And so he has published various important publications like Tofat ul Muhammadin, and it was published in 1803. And actually, the important thing when we talk about Raja Ram Mohan Roy is he founded the Atmiya Sabha in 1815, the Calcutta Unitarian Association in 1821, Brahma Samaj in 1828, which later became the Brahma Sabha in 1828, which later became Brahma Samaj. Okay? Also in 1825, he established Vedanta College, where courses in both Indian learning and Western social and physical sciences were offered. When the press censorship was relaxed by Lord Hastings in 1819, Rajaram Mohan Roy founded three journals: the Brahmanical Magazine 1821, the Bengali Weekly, the Samvad Kaumudi 1821, the Persian Weekly, Mirat ul Akbar. So these are the publications he started, right? So this is the broad information about Rajaram Mohan Roy. Now let's move on to the next question. Bubble curtain technology, sometimes seen in the news, is related to A. Safe and secure environment isolated from the outside world to minimize the risk of COVID-19 infection. B. Non-invasive solution to stop plastic from entering into the oceans or rivers. C. A network of stratospheric balloons designed to bring internet connectivity to rural areas. And D. None of the above. ये क्वेश्चन देखते ही हमको लगता है कि the correct answer might be A, because we talked about a lot of biosecure bubbles and the bubbles with other countries and all. But here we have to see the bubble curtain technology. Basically, it is not related to COVID-19 or anything. This is actually a non-invasive solution to stop plastic from entering into the oceans or rivers. So option B is the correct answer. So this technology basically, so this is used to ensure that the oceans and the rivers are not polluted. Now we will see some more information about this technology. So recently why this was in news is because the geocycle, the global waste management arm of Lafrange-Holcim, and that will be implementing an innovative bubble curtain technology for the first time in India to stop the plastic from entering the Yamuna River. So it has sent an MOU with the UP government. Okay, so it will start work on this and will ensure that the wastes are not entered into the Yamuna River. So this bubble curtain is a non-invasive solution to stop plastic from entering into the oceans. The bubble screen is created by specially designed air tubes which are placed diagonally on the bed of the river, the bed of the canal or river. So in the river bed, so these special tubes are placed. So when in these tubes, the oxygen is sent through these tubes. So when the oxygen and the air is sent through these tubes, what will happen is that it will increase the oxygen content of the river, oxygen content of the water in the river. When the oxygen content of the water in the river is increased, then the activity in the water will be increased. So activity in the water increasing means, so when the oxygen content increasing, that means the aeration is increased and the activity in the water increased. That means क्या होता है कि water में oxygen is available for even for all the species. So when the water is available for all the species, then the decomposition rate increases. The decomposition of waste increases. Okay, so this is what we call as the eutrophication and all. When the oxygen content in the water body reduces, then इसको हम बोलते हैं eutrophication. Because when the oxygen content reduces, then there is less oxygen for species or for the decomposers to stay in water and decompose it. So when less oxygen is available, all these things happen. So इसीलिए when the oxygen content increases, the decomposition rate also increases. ठीक है? So these bubble barriers are generated using compressed air passing through the tubes. These tubes are connected with a compressor that is powered by renewable solar energy. So the solar energy is also used over here. Okay? So the geocycle under the aegis of United Nations Environment Program UNEP, India's Air Pollution Control Action Plan has partnered with Agra Municipal Corporation and GIZ India with Canadian Pond as the technology provider. So Agra Municipal Corporation और इस जियोसाइकिल के बीच एक समझौता हुआ है उसके अंडर दे आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी कॉल्ड बबल कटिंग. It is working towards mission to make Agra plastic free. ठीक है. So the Mantola Canal has been selected for this unique project as it carries 40% of Agra's city wastewater. So remember the Mantola Canal. So the Mantola Canal is where this project is going to be implemented. So here we have to remember two things. The first is the bubble curtain. Second one is the Mantola Canal. ठीक है. Right. We'll move on to the next question. The next question, it's a previous UPSC CSC question, 2011 ka. And the question is, which of the following is not a site for in situ method of conservation of flora? In situ flora conservation. A. Biosphere Reserve. B. Botanical Garden. C. National Park, not natural, National Park. And D. Wildlife Sanctuary. So here हमको choose करना है correct answer, and the correct answer is B. Botanical Garden. So generally, if you see, there are two kinds of conservation, in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. So in situ conservation basically means conservation in that area, conservation of that area basically. So that means conservation of the natural habitat itself, that same area. इसको बोलते हैं in situ, in that area. For example, national park, biosphere reserve, the wildlife sanctuaries, the parks, all these comes under the in situ conservation. But when we talk about ex situ conservation, that means we are taking that species to another safe and secure area, and we are protecting it. For example, the zoos, the aquarium, the seed bank, the botanical gardens. Here we are taking that species and sending it to another safe location where we can conserve that species. ठीक है, उसको हम बोलते हैं ex situ conservation, and these are the examples. ठीक है. So इसीलिए when you see the question, it was asked about in situ conservation is not a site for in situ. So botanical garden is not a site for in situ, because botanical garden में क्या होता है, various plant and animal species, plant species are brought and they are conserved and stored in a separate location. The plant species conserved and stored in a separate location, and इसको हम बोलते हैं botanical garden. ठीक है, right. Now we'll see the last question. Consider the following: A. 1. Rice field. 2. Coal mining. C. Domestic animal. 4. Wetland. Which of the above are sources of methane, a major greenhouse gas? So it's also a previous UPSC CSE question from 2008. So here it's asking about the methane sources. And the correct answer here is, so here you have to choose the correct answer: A 1 and 4, B 2 and 3, C 1, 2 and 3, and D 1, 2, 3 and 4. See, even if you don't know anything, first thing is that rice fields, they emit methane, we know, and wetlands emit methane. So 1 and 4 should be there. But 2 and 3, lot of you might have doubt. But when we take about domestic animals, the animals release a lot of methane during their farts. So 3 is also right. So 1, 3, 4 should be there. So D 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the correct answer, because even during coal mining, not only coal mining, generally during mining, a lot of gases are released, but especially in the coal mining, these methane beds, they are broken and the methane also comes out. Okay, so इसीलिए D 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the correct answer. See, the major sources of methane emission from land are currently the remnants and the expansion of rice cultivation, because rice cultivation is a great source of methane emission. Other smaller sources of land-based methane emissions include animal manure, waste burning, the peatlands in the northern hemisphere, etc. And fossil fuel production is another main one. Fossil fuel production. Okay? So peatland means they are nothing but kind of wetlands which are present in the northern hemisphere, especially in the cold regions. The wetlands in the cold regions, they are called peatlands because in these kind of peatlands there is lot of undecomposed waste, and it is undecomposed because of the lack of sunlight. Because of the lack of sunlight, तो इसीलिए हम उसको बोलते हैं the peatlands. ठीक है? So these are the sources, right? So now we'll see today's question. The question of the day is, what is Budapest Convention related to? So recently it was in news. So tell me, what is Budapest Convention related to? Do comment your answer in the comment box. Do comment your answer in the comment box. And tomorrow, before starting the question discussion, we will discuss the Budapest Convention. So tomorrow is Sunday, so we will have a discussion on Monday with regard to the Budapest Convention. So do comment your answer in the comment box. Okay? So that's it, friends. Then, yeah, sorry. This is the question. So that's it, friends. Then I'll see you again on Monday with 5 more important MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned to VowIAS. Jai Hind. Thank you.